So you keep your messages coming. Was 055-009-0867. Na yakin kind at the amount 055-009-0867. Send a message. Ebra na yakin kind. And for my father me. And you bring Amano Samni Jumadi and the Dimidin Boama Dakon Isaac Haruna Amaliba KINGSLEY HARUNA a year member of the National Democratic Congress NDC communications team. Oh, Major. Pumiye. Amiadum. A question.
Empathy for you because some peninsula food also we need.
Sure.
Had an equally important engagement somewhere. So, once duty calls, you have no option than to respond. Yes. Sorry for the late start.
That's okay. Because you can kind even else book many who do. You see, we have to come across.
Interestingly, issues of this kind don't try to, take advantage of certain issues. Okay, on say kunshu in a boy hina, na 10 years on Srequetia, and I say you a young member, and you will be there in anti-media. You don't know when you become a victim. It is only a dead man who can laugh over this kind of social issues. So I think that, well, those whose name have been mentioned, but we members, we need to be very much guided so that we wouldn't end up getting ourselves involved in this kind of things. You see, we are better man, and some people see now also taking responsibility. So take responsibility and move on in peace. Instead of letting Crawford to harbor some bitterness in them, and the only thing that they can do is to record it down. Once I buy a book, I buy a part of archives, publications online everywhere. Internet doesn't forget. I buy part of record. Maybe produce information on that. How would you
say yes, it's in Koran and Maya, ye quiet by the way,
yes, in America, say I hear you. Because
at the point where when you're ready, say, Lord, even our fathers can testify, say,
yes, recently I watched a video. I even downloaded it because of how emotional the video was. Ghana need be papa no things of free Kumasi. And I'll call US about 40 years ago. That time racism was quite higher in the UK. Into only brony baby efafru. And the koba and say omo ya no omo twen akwala na efiri ho wa hu akwala ne biom.
Papa no.
Omo twen akwala ne fi papa no. 40 years ago. Nancy no ko hu ne ba no. And over the years he has been praying say doing everything possible so we the banner and sana and finally it came to pass. We shared the banner. No, sir, my minister Crampo Awa, Wawon Kuala 3, and some of the children even have Ghanaian names. And when you watch the video as reported by BBC, Abraham Mushiano, it was Rebecca Arehone and Ijena Diafra. So I think that if you maybe senior high school, as someone Mr. Kachemin said, may I bet my family school, I should be careful not to do something that will give rise to a responsibility I may not be prepared for. So, this has some I guided me all these years. Okay? Until me taking action, I assess the pros and cons. I mean, say, institution should be free, I can withstand it. So, I can withstand it. Until obi ntimi nkoja be bi nka se onemi anyinse amanye na me kura me kofa hifa na me
say be a one control.
Me tune me.
So what if so we ba say me o nu anyinse
me tune me
anu wa wo ba
e tune me yusu nti sasam na de me ni ho. Yes.
But very interesting.
Yeah, it's
because I just saw something said nowadays ladies, the educated ones, or either write a book or take you to court.
Yeah, Brenty way. Kofi Yesu, wouldn't Kofi Yesu.
Kofi Yesu.
Wouldn't Kofi Yesu grow. You fell Ambrose.
Okay.
They call AUCC or despite media.
Okay.
All of just as a
So either they will either take you to
uneducated ones, so they will call
but radio and TV. So you remember this girl, any a year banking? That's
oh yeah, that girl.
Side chick, you know.
Yes, side chick, no.
Not a guest say.
Oh yes.
Or they, yo, no.
Now, kind.
Narrate now.
Narrate and release and I was seeking. It was an eyesore. It was an eyesore.
I see.
Oh, and someone said you can ye kukwemu sem no ne be hwini na gu abont. You see,
ade ye ta eye niwu sem.
yes, I bet that abont.
And then no my one
no. You see, on say another generation a generation a niwu eni yemu. A niwu eni yemu.
Okay.
And the son say generation a omo conscience highly defiled into no. We hear less mistake. Or we bet dental credibility.
Okay.
No number of generations after you. No, they have said the record of that family. No. Oh, and sometimes me twana mobia there. You see, some me had been in yena babontia. My siblings, how would they take it? Me worry me nima oho. But I'm looking at my siblings. What about me and my bushia for both father and mother line? What about my colleagues at Monomoko school? What about me namfofo? What about abushanphobia, sabio, ebia, authority, politics, and those stuff? No, mabaye close to those people. How would they take it? So, until you examine all those things and you tread cautiously.
She talks about a year DNA test.
Yes, with
Mr.
Peter
Nelson, Oko Nelson.
Yes.
After 30 years, and I realizes Oko Nelson and Yane Papa. Na ne papa ne Peter Lajete o confront ne papa ne mame na okoye DNA test with a year Peter Lajete Emma and the result was positive send ne papa ne Peter Lajete. Why will I don't understand.
You have to.
Because a brand footballer
That's
Lamte.
Yeah.
And also the same. Nema be ye 5 for sahin nyina. Nenye nema.
It was very sad.
Na 30 years knowing very well say akora yi nye papa sumasiba. These things are happening with Kuruma no. And so oba no be kata nani asum aburu no nyina. Recently we saw somewhere where you bi wo eye kumanse fo ne ma ye omo yi eso. Oba no kwatana si bodua ne su ne nkroba ne ade. Omko ye DNA test na nye be ma ne ba.
Oh, you see, so you oya bema wo din kaka o so hwe akwan yi. Oh, and I don't want to use the word say be mo nhia mo ho so. I don't want to use that word. Oh, because look, you have to understand. Ye nipa die ulusu God kakrape, you found yourself in a certain corner. It will be very difficult for you to defend yourself. You get it? And to me, these are very complex issues. I don't want to apportion blames. Okay, but Onyonko Bodjesa exactly so.
But the MPP offered her to contest the Ayawasu West Wogon. Chapter 11 of the book. Say after a year, Dumso must stop campaign. MPP, now the president of Kufuado now. Frema, Pelifobishia, and more fast. On Colon Congo Jurama, a year your friend is MPP. And she declined. But then, sir, Dumso must stop. Yeah, about giddy. Nah, I said, I think you people were not happy. I said, yeah. Political, no Krobani and the affiliation, but in the book, no, my who said, now politician be sending.
You see, we share a brand here, our body ding. I don't want to mention it.
Oh, Sargodiana.
Oh, well, 1 hour.
I saw Sargodi, you know.
I'll say, Dumso must stop team, no. Omujinum, the able team. And our ball, Mammy, our train a crater in Sudin. Oh, and he said it was a more or less impenetrable driven demonstration. Okay,
Stop.
Yeah, it was
a
driven demonstration than they mainly intended purpose to ensure say doing so best. Of course, doing so started here. The Mahama regime did not sleep. Abane ye the obetimi bia the time one na omo sisi ho quiet anasa omo tusa na mo no krampo no na power batches were under construction in Turkey. Ghanaian journalists, I recall late Kaba of Multimedia, no Kahumbi, even Comrade Kwesi Pratt was part of the team that went to Turkey. And Kwesi Pratt, by and was someone came and engineer part and said, engineers are no more yet those power batches in Huejumanu. Many of them were Ghanaian engineers. You get that? So the government did not sit aloof and say, oh, my folding and something there's nothing I can do. There was a work which was on the way to make sure that we deal with the situation, and we really dealt with it. So when I don't know, can you politically driven activities just to, because you hate certain person and their political philosophy, and I think that I dream pop up a bit in a teacher. They have a reason to organize 1,001 demonstrations. Wow. And I knew one or more to every that time. No. They say have more than 1,001 reasons to compose the same songs and organize demonstrations to put current government on its toes. And you will send a chance Alistair Matthias or the same Al Jazeera, a documentary. Investigative documentary about the president of Ghana. Our internationally accredited criminal, our money launderer. A boy, a man penny. A man penny letter come Al Jazeera say, Master, I'm pulling documentary in that sense, a good hufi, and go man penny hufi, a good highest office of Ghana hufi, and a good Ghana Nibia hufi. And this is on record, it's on public archives. A man penny and come out.
They call his bluff.
Al Jazeera have responded swiftly and called the bluff of the president and the presidency of Ghana and the authority of the Ghanaian state. Asante Bedi Twitter and Kata Koma Al Jazeera. He leaked that letter to the Ghanaian media. Okay? But Al Jazeera for responding, I don't know, leaky Al Jazeera response to the people of Ghana. I think Parliament is doing a greater disservice to this country. Are you watching proceedings from the Oversight Committee of Congress in the United States? Huh? Is it document 1023 or so? I indicted Joe Biden. Sabra, or your vice president, will receive $5 million from the Ukrainian businessman to remove certain U.S. officials from office because their activities was blocking their illegal connections at the time with the U.S. government. Okay? Joe Biden, but Ghana, Hanu, sadly you have institutions, well, regrettably to mention, including the judiciary, that is stonewalling, okay, the alleged and perceived criminal activities of the government. The Ghana Police Service, the BNI, others. So, look, Ebit Senator Commission, more they proposed CI called Parliament. Parliament objected to the content of that CI. The Constitutional and Legal Committee of Parliament, both sides of the House, unanimously issued a report and calling for a modification of the CI. They are calling the bluff, say, at their Parliament kindly was just an opinion. The representatives of the people. Omo coming in here said they are independent. Independent from what? From who?
Maybe they just realized.
And by what? Oh, so people should stop using that legal gimmick. You're independent, you're independent. Even judiciary that we say is an independent institution. And yet that independent is because Article 125, Chapter 25 of the Constitution, kind of perfectly say, justice emanates from the people. And it is only dispensed by the judiciary, which is independent and subject to the Constitution because the judiciary draws its powers from the Constitution. Article 1, Clause 2 says that sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana. as well as Article 35 respectively. You understand? And the government of Ghana derives its power from the people. Therefore, all the state independent institutions in Ghana draws their authority from the people through the constitution. And the constitution provides for separation of powers and state institutions that work under the state. And yes, we're independent. We're entirely independent, sir. Other than that, how do you prepare budget now? They go to parliament, asking parliament to approve the budget for you, so that the executive will release money for your activities. So as you can, and yet the president in there, and yet the ministers there, that money, the government will draw the money from the consolidated fund,
all right,
which is the public purse. Yet the sense we are. What can one be catch as independent? Won't mean charity for public sector. I mean, what do you mean by that?
That's it. We bounce back. Now, many messages, but we are suffering from credibility crisis. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate shall expose you. We won't tax Momo. We will pay rent of all youth in Ghana and so on. And that is the record of Baumia, Lexus, Boy Man, and Odifi by. Please, this is Kennedy Japan's second time contesting for NPP presidential election. He contested in 2007. I remember, my name is Olibet Nana Safo or Inside Cast. Olibet, thanks for that info. I'm Dr. Majesty, an obstetrician, gynecologist. Please, I'm an NPP true delegate, and I have regretted for calling myself a member. Why am I saying this? Because the Baumia I knew before, he being appointed as a vice president, is not the same person we are having today, and the Nado we know is not the same person. So I'm asking, which vision is he talking about? He is visionless man, and he has nothing for Ghana. Everyday digitization, and I keep asking myself, is he really a certified economist? If yes, then he doesn't resemble the portfolio. And I think per the look of NPP delegates thinks about bringing Alan Cash, they will lose both voter and northern votes through what we call pains and anger votes. And if they bring in Baumia, all Alan Cash supporters won't cast their vote over discrimination because he gave away for Nanado to go after the referendum. He didn't give away for Nanado to go. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you so. Now I have resigned fully because Nanado is the most incompetent government that we have ever seen. So he says his name is Dr. Majesty, an obstetrician gynecologist. All right. It is also, wait me do. Or message about 055-009-0867. However, let's talk about the economy. Maybe is the economy on recovery path, as Overiata is telling us?
Very well. My main honorable Minta Kando.
Okay.
The MP for Jaboso, right? Happy birthday.
Ooh.
The any birthday. So honorable, I wish you well. May you age gracefully and continue to serve Ghana. The economy on a recovery path. As someone can offer canon run me, my yadaji and Tino, and of course, I don't waste my time listening to him and a group of people around, because this government have proven beyond all reasonable doubt, they have failed, okay. And the failure came as a result of Omwankasa selfish ambitions to build an independent family financial empire, but not to govern for the people of this country. And in Tisawuti Sama Mampine Kufuado Kanye before the elections in Inanua, it was in someone or consider Beya Ghana for Bejina Sonoma to Abamano. Na winia wajina tumia timamu for their man so ade aye de ope, that's all. Because how can on mine see kasem recover that ben IMF approve a application of that bailout in May, just May, 23rd of May this year. no more prove you're right. Now, June crumple ended. Also, the economy is recovering. Oh, really? Meaning, say IMF, no, say a pania. You know, me kaita when I student or AUCC, we were taught something that in media theory there is something they call hypodermic needle theory or the magic bullet theory. Yeah. Your communication student knows about it. Oh, information. What the one nipana? I just say it quickly it has a corresponding effect. A shaping nipano and the attitude and the way he received the information and all of that. You see, so IMF, Emma that quick relief now. The NPP owes Ghanaians an apology, as well as former President Mahama and the NDC. Because Gabi Ochidakun video na wuboy. Abra President Mahama echo IMF. And corporate policy credibility. What it means is that the IMF as an institution will guarantee that the Ghanaian economy is in good shape and that any investor or person in Sika ebe boa and buy a business or Ghana feel free and go because the Ghanaian economy is in good shape. In addition to that, we had balance of payment problems after 2012 elections. So in order to stabilize the rate of the cedi or your currency value and to also maintain your reserve. Now, my economy we conveyed a essential consensus. Obia ko MPP phone kwa de omanko. Because one of members say, there will be a repercussion on you. Obianko. Out of that agreement to any document they call Parliament Egitum, we publish it for Ghanaians to read. And no became the trump card and I say, yeah, proposed policies are. Yeah, they come out IMF saying, yeah, here more, but vet it for me. I say me kojiska or banka ko be business. Now me kuta me business proposals, my development business plan, me cost everything. Now me they come and bankers who say, this is my business I'm person me. This is my expected revenue generation. These are the content of everything I'm going to do. Just assess it, then give me the loan. When we took our document to IMF, they adopted the whole thing in its entirety, almost entirety, just with few alterations. NPP had a problem with that. Omo did Mahama attempt to the extent say, I brought you DC. So wouldn't me answer now call IMF for saying more than Gabi Ochidakun, the video you played mentioned the same thing. And Tisamo, after taking inflation from 15.4%, after taking your exchange rate from 17%, after taking interbank rate from 21%, after taking cap from 120 billion Ghana cedis, after taking debt to GDP, our debt to GDP was I think 9.7%. After taking GDP, debt to GDP ratio from 56% and dropped by 54% in 2017 because additional 2 oil wells and another mainstream was going to soar up government revenue generation from the oil resources, right? Mm-hmm. All these things when you are President Mahama develop Mamo. You have run all these things down to the extent that your debt to GDP are exceeding 100%. Yeka ena almost approximately 700 to 800 billion Ghana cedis. All the fundamentals, including inflation, are 40%. In any case, so I say IMF bailout, a yielding resource. What is the resource is he talking about? The same finance minister, Menoka say, one bondholders, Ejina Kono. You've not been able to pay the bondholders. So
to you, the economy is not on any recovery.
The economy is on any recovery path. It must reflect on our pocket.
All right.
Or in our pocket.
Let's use the 2 minutes to talk about Jachikwesin's trial.
Okay. Well, Maunsa Attorney General can be the Jachikwesin ATK the ben risk. In criminal prosecution, the onus lies on the prosecution team to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that accused person is guilty of the crime ya accused no say were committed. I have no doubt in my mind that Jachikwesin will, at the end of the day, be exonerated by the court. No matter the intimidation tactics are MPP4 or more deployed. But as some of whom say, this is an act of persecution against Jachikwesin by the MPP government, weaponizing the judiciary and using it to that effect. Other than that, may share video be on CTV, where a retired Supreme Court judge, very well, thank you for the name, Akane very clearly that the decision of the Supreme Court on this Jachikwesin case was a travesty of justice. The court erred in arriving in that decision. Okay,
that is his opinion
yes, on it. And don't forget, he's a senior.
He was on the bench.
He was a senior member on the bench and have retired.
Yeah.
And therefore, the opinion, authoritative. Okay, authoritative. Now, having expressed that kind of opinion, it therefore interpret to me that fundamentally they still have no case. Okay? Because the MPP think that they have succeeded using the court to invalidate Jachikwesin's election. Now, so you're invalidating it there, which is error in law, according to the former...
According to Justice Isaac Doche.
You understand? It's an error in law. And after they have done that, the next step is to activate the criminal aspect of it, which is, if Obia holding allegiance to a foreign country, and they contested elections in Ghana, and to once hold that allegiance or commit a criminal offense under the laws of Ghana, and therefore he must face that criminal charge. But the question here is that, did Jachikwesin disclose it that he holds allegiance to a foreign country, and therefore he has made an attempt to renounce that citizenship?
So what does the
and
law
indeed,
say? Does the law
did renounce it?
You should make an attempt in renouncing,
No.
You should renounce and produce certificate.
If you're listening to me, I was just building a case.
All right.
Did he make an attempt to renounce it?
Yeah.
One, did he renounce it? Did he receive a certificate for that? At what point in time? Are those records available? You understand?
Yeah.
And I think Section 20 of...
And surely that is what the courts will be using.
Section 20 of PNDC, the People Representative Law, PNDC Law, I think 285, was one of the areas my senior brother Abraham Amaliba, the director of NDC legal team, when he was responding to the judgment in the first place, he referred to that and said that, all right, the MP should be qualified, or the person should be qualified for election at the time of his election, not at the time of the file of his nominations.
That's
good, and that is December 7th.
So
by then, no, let the Jachikwesin know. The new season application or the certificate, arrival cry long
thank
ago.
You.
Before
so we leave that to the judges.
We leave that.
But currently sitting on the bench.
We have no doubt at all that Jachikwesin will be exonerated.
Sure. We pray. So Haruna Amaliba, KINGSLEY HARUNA, a member of the NDC National Communications Team, Joe Ashaiman, NDC Deputy Communications Director, Ma NDC Ashaiman Constituency, Joe Ashaiman. Bro, good evening. We just on here. We are also Ekoye. Me the boy Isaac. Aha, Adam the Jumadi is